Okay, now we want to show you how to create a pie chart using the visual data tools, linking it with Excel so that you can use Microsoft Excel to fill out your chart or database and then have that populate your pie chart. So what we're going to do to start is to drag a new group down. We are going to use a plugin from the data pool folder. So I'm going to go into built-ins, into the container plugins within the data folder here, data pool plugins. We're going to get the data reader and we are going to drag it onto our topmost group. If you watched the other tutorials, you know how to set this up, but we'll run through it again on here. When we click on the data reader, the first thing that we have here is our query type. Since we're using Excel, we're going to keep it at Excel. The next part that we need to know is the file name of the Excel sheet. But we don't just need to know the file name, we also need to know the location of it. Here in my C drive, I have my location. So you'll need to know the exact location if you want to just type it in or copy the location within our file name here. We can. So I'm going to paste that in there. I'm going to hit backslash and then type in the name of our Excel file, which is class2.xlsm. If you are doing this, you'll want to save your Excel sheet as a shared Excel sheet, which is an XLSM file format. Now within the Excel sheet, we also need to know the table or a sheet name. So if we go into my Excel sheet, that's referring to these tabs down here at the bottom. So what I want is this one named stock. So I'm going to come into the data reader and I'm going to put under tablet/sheet, it's going to be labeled stock. Next, we need a key value. I'm going to type in N because my Excel sheet has a key value of N here. We could have called that anything we wanted. We just named it N for numerical values on the left. Now we also need to know the fields to read. And these fields to read are our title columns up at the top here. So I'm either going to read the symbol name or the stock ticker ID, either the high, the low, or the price of each of these columns. So we can type in what we want. For now, I'm going to type in PRI for price, which matched my column. Before I go any further, what I want to do now is select my field is a tab. So the selection is set to data table by default. I'm going to change this to shared memory. Once I do that, it opens up this shared memory type, and we want to make sure that that is set to scene. Lastly, I have two other things that I need to take care of down here. A fields delimiter, we don't need that, so I'm going to delete that. And our rows delimiter, we can change this to whatever you want. You can leave it as default. I'm going to change mine to comma. And now we have a shared memory variable. We are going to leave this at VAR for now, capitals, because we're going to need that in the next stage, which is grabbing our visual data tools plugin and dragging that up into our scene tree. So we're using the pie chart. I'm going to drag the pie chart up there. I'm going to click on the pie chart. Our shared memory is inactive at the moment. I'm going to change that to scene. This key data, I'm going to delete the default value in there and I'm going to match it up with what our variable was within the data reader or our shared memory variable. We have typed VAR in there. I just need to make sure that whatever you type in there matches whatever you type in the key data. You can see when we did that our pie chart here auto-populated. So now I'm going to come down here, and once we get the data in, it's all about the design of it from there. So we can come down and let's increase our diameter here. And before we do anything else, if we wanted to colorize it, we could certainly throw a material on it. So whichever material or color you want, you can also texture it too. So if you wanted to grab some type of image in here to texturize it too, you could certainly do that. It would work like any other 3D primitive or image in that you can click on the texture and then just change the mapping parameters to whatever you need. So within the pie chart plugin, we also have this section underneath the diameter. It's called total segments. So we can take this down. It's set to 360 by default, so obviously if you decrease it, it's going to take away segments. Now a big one here is the center offset setting. So as I adjust the center offset, you can see how it offset each pie slice, and it shows you the different sets of data or variables coming into it by the pie slices here. So we can also increase like a hole in the middle if you wanted to not make it such a solid pie. We have a height option, so we can increase the height of this. This pie is already three-dimensional, so we don't need to extrude it or do anything additional to it to make it a 3D object. And we also have a bevel option. If we turn the bevel on, it also bevels the top, and we have a bevel for the bottom as well. You have a bevel size underneath that, so you can bevel it as well. There's a place size, so if you wanted to keyframe some of these on, you could certainly use the piece size to do that, and it takes away pieces or adds the pieces as we increase or decrease that value. So once you do have the data inside, it's all about the design phase from there. The data is working. If you just need to come in and set the scene up to match your branding and or whatever, the important part is that once you have the data set up and feeding into it, you can then go ahead and save and resave this scene to do what you want with it as far as design wise. So that's how you use the pie chart and auto populate it with an Excel data sheet.